It was just another Thursday evening, or so I thought. I returned home from work, the quiet of the apartment wrapping around me like the familiar rhythm I'd come to rely on. My phone buzzed on the counter, a notification that promised nothing but demanded attention. I picked it up, expecting something ordinary, a reminder, a joke from a friend. Instead, the screen illuminated a message that made my stomach tighten. My face betrayed nothing, just a blank stare at the selfie that appeared. My wife, smiling, flushed under the neon glow of what looked like a Vegas hotel. The lights reflected in her eyes. Beneath it, the words, "Marry my boss. Don't wait up." For a moment, I simply stared. The world didn't chatter. I didn't scream or throw the phone across the room. I set it down slowly, as though the act itself could absorb the weight of her words. My mind raced, anger, disbelief, the urge to confront. But each impulse faltered, dissolving into quiet understanding. Some things cannot be negotiated. She had made her choice, and that choice reflected her own disregard for what we shared, not my worth. I poured myself a drink, not out of despair, but as a small act of reclaiming the calm she had tried to shatter. The apartment remained still. The silence was heavy, yes, but protective, like a shield around me. Outside, the city hummed, oblivious of betrayal that had landed so softly in my lap. I thought about the life we'd shared, the routines, the small gestures once treasured and now apparently dismissed. In that quiet, I realized something essential. My response would define me far more than her actions ever could. The next morning, I didn't rush to call or demand answers. There was no point in chasing someone who had already made her choice. Instead, I followed my usual routine, letting small, familiar motions anchor me. Making coffee, checking emails, straightening the living room. Each act deliberate, a quiet testament to the life I would continue to live, regardless of her decisions. The phone sat silently on the counter, a reminder of the lightning strike message from a night before. I thought again of the Vegas selfie, the smug little grin that seemed to say, "Look what I did, and you're too late to stop it." Most people would let that image burn inside them, replaying it until frustration boiled over. But I felt only calm clarity. This wasn't about her, not really. It was about how I chose to respond. I stayed silent. I maintained composure. That was strength. That was the true reaction. It left no room for manipulation, no space for guilt to take root. By midday, messages began arriving. Friends had seen posts, comments, inquiries asking if I was okay. I read each one carefully, replying briefly and calmly. Nothing accusatory, nothing desperate. It felt almost strange to see people quietly rally around me. Yet I didn't need anyone to fix anything. I didn't need external validation. The validation came from within. I had already won in the only way that mattered, by refusing to let her choices alter my sense of self-worth. By evening, the reality had settled into a quiet rhythm. She was gone from the life we had shared, but I remained intact. I thought back on the countless nights we'd spent together. The laughter, the arguments, the compromises in the wake of her choices. Those moments had shaped me, not trapped me. Anger and betrayal existed, yes, but they were just layers on top of something far stronger. Clarity. I went for a walk through the city streets. Neon lights blurred past as people moved with their own stories, oblivious to the quiet unraveling of mine. Couples laughed. Conversations hurried by. And I understood something vital. Life continues, indifferent to our drama. The key is not chaos or desperation, but moving forward with dignity. Every step I took was a reminder that my life remained mine, no matter her choices. Later that night, I checked the phone again. Another selfie. Another flippant remark. But this time, it barely registered. I smiled softly, not for her, but for myself. She had made her choice, and I had made mine, to remain steady, composed, unshaken. My life didn't stop because of her decisions. It simply continued, shaped by resilience rather than betrayal. And in that quiet, as the city slept and the apartment held its sanctuary of stillness, I understood the truth. Sometimes the strongest statement isn't confrontation, a message, or a fight. It's the calm assertion that your life, Your dignity and your worth remain intact, untouched, unshaken, completely your own.